And something that you said that I was really happy about, it didn't feel like it was Damonkia throwing, it felt like it was KT winning. And that's
Straight
not
up,
always the case when we see Damonkia lose, right? Like, we keep talking about it, we keep going back to it, and the impact by Barrel and Ghost wasn't really felt in this game, but it wasn't like they were chain dying 2v2 over and over again, which we've also seen them do in a match against T1, right? So it is actually just KT playing around the pressure, respecting the dive potential that Damonkia brought, and I'm very happy to see that Lee Sin ban, because I do not want to see Doran get that again, because
how does it take this long to find Karma? Oh my goodness, they didn't even manage to find it. It's just going to be Rumble banned away here. I think if you don't ban Rumble, Damwon, you pick Karma every day. And I guess, you know, Karma does do a bit of a number against Rumble anyway, so you don't want to pick it at the same time. So I guess that's okay, but I hope KT have got a plan, because Karma is just really, really good.
It's the blue side buff, right? Where if you don't ban Rumble, they're going to first lock Karma, and you don't want to lock Rumble. But if you ban Karma, then they'll first lock Rumble.
Yeah, it's like a skewed rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, you just lose.
Yeah, you just lose.
But
here it is. Noah gets his wish. He wanted to play the Senna into Ghost, and I think that KT also have to lock Tarm, because otherwise it's Varus Tarm Kench, which is the response. Theoretically, assuming the Karma is not going to be going into the support position, but it's not what they're going to decide to do here, as the jungle is going to be the priority. 4 seconds on Blank's choice, and it is going to be the Udyr. We've seen Udyr be very, very popular around the world, continuing to just do his Udyr things, but it's not the same power level as that's Viego.
Okay.
All right, okay. I'm paying attention here, Damwon.
I've been waiting for that one for a while now, and I'm really happy to see the Viego. I think that especially with any enablers like the Karma, it can pop off so incredibly hard in the early skirmishes. KT showed that they are very happy to play this early skirmishing style. And while I don't love the Varus, and if it is going to be a Karma, I would much rather see it on Showmaker and Khan, just putting that out there yet again. Because obviously this Karma can go into side lanes for support, Viego can go into the jungle or in solo lanes, although Viego top is really not something I'd prefer to see. That doesn't mean the Kench stay open here, and I do think that while in team fights the Varus Karma lane isn't necessarily great, what Karma does really well is just make Tom Kench's lives really uncomfortable, because you will be shoved on the lane. And it's what we saw Hanwha Live do, right, with the Caitlyn composition. And sure, it didn't get the victory in the very end, but it did prove to be a really, really strong composition in terms of the laning phase, as well as the pressure that Hanwha Live was able to generate thanks to that pick. And I think with the Varus Karma, you can do something similar. Obviously, the downside is that if KT finds some sort of backline dive, the Nocturne is still in the pool, although that was kind of a middling performance. But I feel like that was more a compositional thing, right? Where, as Damonkia, you had to go in at everyone. They didn't go in with everyone a couple of times, and then at that point you're like playing a Nocturne from behind, which is just the worst.
This is a good read. The Aurelia gets banned, and then obviously the response is the Gnar ban. Looked like Khan was thinking about picking that one up. Nocturne's still available, still quite a few picks that are pretty high priority that are still up. As KT probably still looking for more of the AD variety, as that's Twisted Fate taken away from Dove. He could just go back, or he could just pick the Akali, which is still left available.
I want to see a counter pick for top lane. I agree with you. Akali would be lovely here. I don't think it works as well with the team comp here, and that is like the one caveat that I have. I think the champion is super, super duper strong. And you also don't have the risk of the Varus getting eaten by Tahm Kench, because, psych, you have Tahm Kench. But with the Udyr, the Senna, I feel like this is leaning more towards a traditional front-to-back, like teamfight style composition now. But then, depending on the counter pick here, because this would be a blind GP here, unless they really want to start flexing in weird positions, and because we still don't know where half the people on Damonkia are going.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, right now, everything's a flex, technically.
Yeah.
As this is the Rakan that I was calling for last game, and that is going to be locked away. So it means that Karma is heading into a solo lane and likely the mid lane here for Showmaker, and that also is going to provide us with a jungle Viego, which is something that we don't usually see. Top and mid has been happening across the world. We know that Viego can, of course, jungle. Of course, the Kraken Slayer build does allow that one to work. We'll have to see what Canyon's actually going to put together as far as itemization, as Doran is going to lock away the Jace. This was a successful pick for him against Nongshim. We'll just have to see how it goes.
After last game, KT basically saying win lane, win game, or Senna, please carry us in the late game is honestly,
Yep.
it's fine to me. Right? I think that you saw last game that you can actually pull that off. My issue is that I think Damonkia is going to play with a lot more respect than they did in game number 1. I don't think they're going to take the skirmishes with the same bravado that they had in game number 1, and that is going to make it a lot harder when you don't find a lead with the Akali, with the Jace. You're basically just waiting for your Senna to become relevant. Also love that you talked about the build that Viego goes here, because there is actually so much flexibility.
Yeah.
You can go for everyone's favorite item at the moment, the good old Divine Sunderer, but there is also the option of going with Shieldbow builds. You already mentioned the Kraken Slayer. And the interesting thing about Viego Jungle is that one of his key strengths, of course, is the insane sustain that he has in lane. And that allows him to continuously trade and always win out in the end. That strength we're not really going to see here. It's more the skirmishing and the reset potential in fights that, especially with a Karma, I expect to take place around bot side. I don't think Karma's going to get a lot of attention this game.
Yeah, I actually feel like Showmaker needs to be playing. It's the classic Showmaker situation, right? Where he is joining Canyon for every possible opportunity. And I like the fact that they lose a skirmish and then build a comp that actually skirmishes extraordinarily well if Showmaker is able to get there and augment the rest of his team. So looking forward to seeing what they can do. It has to be a bit of a change-up with how KT progresses in this early game, but I do like their composition, and I think that this one's definitely going to be competitive. How they play around a different tempo and different momentum in this game is going to be so, so interesting. As Blank here with definitely not Udyr, my favorite skin of all time. Just wandering around as a cute little teddy bear. As Khan's going to make his way in, and Damonkia are putting themselves in a pretty forward position in this early stage, trying to get all the vision down that they need, and containing KT to the best of their ability.
In a way, this is a continuation of the comps that Damonkia should rough around Syndra. The reason why we always saw Showmaker on Syndra, because one, he always got prio no matter the matchup every single time.
Yep.
And it allowed him to set up for Canyon. And this Karma, we already saw in the games against T1 how well he was able to help the rest of his team and really anyone that needed his help. And in this specific matchup, I think the Akali is going to be able to CS when Fleet as well, just for the additional sustain. But she's basically never ever going to be able to have prio because the pushing power of a Karma is just disgustingly strong. And as I say that, I love this. Oh, look at that. Look at the minimap.
Very, very cheeky. They're switching it all up, and the Gangplank heading towards the mid lane.
Wow.
I'm going to try and put down Doran on the top side of the map. I wish this happened more often, because I feel like we're moving away from mid and top laners. This is something that LS and I spoke about a lot, especially last year, is that the idea of a mid laner and a top laner is starting to become homogenized. Because I might need to hold the thought for a moment. Exhaust down onto Ghost here on the bottom side. Not going to get devoured or anything like that. But still, putting on the pressure here is the KT bottom lane. We've seen this almost too much, that Senna Tamkench just wins early.
The Senna level 1 is so insanely strong due to the combination of how much power Q provides early on, in addition to Glacial Augment, meaning that she is the one who decides if or not if she trades or not, right? So, in Tamkench in general is just, even though he's you know, not the most impressive character to watch, has so much early game power in terms of just raw stats and being able to just out-trade you in a vacuum.
Yep.
And again, really happy to see KT's bot lane just from minute 1 get that pressure going. And I was expecting Khan to just be left alone. As a little bit of trading, but they're doing fine. And Khan to be left alone and kind of be led to kind of bleed out against Dora and his Jace. But the problem is that Jace into Karma, like, Jace is just gonna kind of clear waves, and that's it, right? It's not really a champion that you can bully the way that you will with the Gangplank. Whereas Gangplank can actually take control of the lane against the Akali in the early levels due to the advantage that he has with his Q and his passive. And then Dove kind of is on the back foot. So it's a beautiful move here by Damonkia.
Well, now KT are looking for a bit of a dive here on the bottom side of the map. A lot of damage onto Ghost. He will be going down as First Blood goes over to Noah, and Harp tanking up the turret so beautifully to allow that one to happen. KT just walk away with first blood and lose nothing.
Well, I'm singing the praises of Damwon. It is actually KT that yet again finds this on this bot side. And this is going to be something that in the long run Damwon is going to have to fix. Because you can't trade that aggressively early on, get out-traded to an extent where you have no control over the wave whatsoever, and lose as hard as you do here. And as you said, beautifully tanked here, because I was actually expecting someone to possibly go down. The Ignite gets waited out, Harp tanks as much as he really needs to, and no flash even available. Even I think if you flash, it doesn't really change the equation there, so glad that Ghost holds on to that, but it's also an entire wave shoved into the turret again that he's missing out on experience.
And the bottom lane used 0 summoners.
Nothing.
Like Noah has flash, Harp has flash, so now they can continue this level of pressure throughout the rest of this early game. So it's from bad to worse here for the Damwon bot side. You mentioned, though, I think that it's absolutely genius what Damwon did, because they were going to have a winning lane, right? The mid lane was still going to have pressure. But the beauty of Karma is that she is just a natural equalizer. Not the Rumble style, but she equalizes almost any lane. And so you put her against Jace, who is often a bully, and it feels really, really good. So if you head away from the bottom side, Damwon feeling very, very good about the situation.
It works on even one more level as, oh, Ghost.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here, going to get stunned up. The Devour is going to keep Noah safe as Beryl's just going to battle dance his way out, but KT continuing to just flex on this bottom side. And look at the wave positioning. It's a disaster for Damwon.
You need to try and break this, but you can't. Because if you walk up into melee range, you're going to get out-traded for sure. And they can just keep it here. Blank is also pathing towards the bot side, and this is really the story of recent Damwon for me. Their mid, top, jungle, all beautiful, right? Because Khan also knows how to play against Akali, but Dove isn't necessarily very well versed in the matchup. But then if your bot lane is getting punished like this, like how much can you really do as Damwon?
Well, there's the grand entrance. Devour going to come through and deny it as Harp eating through, I believe, a biscuit there to get a bit of health back. Not entirely sure, unless it was just a level up. But he was pretty low on the old mana as Canyon's making his way in. I believe that control ward may have glimpsed the Viego making his way through as Blank going to start off this Mountain Drake as the first one. And Noah continuing to play aggressive. Harp had just enough mana to try and get that Devour out, and that's going to deny the CC. Still a bit of a rough time here for Damwon, and this is a massive wave again piling up. Bottom side of the map. Blank eventually will get through this Mountain Drake. Just so much health on that boy, but he's going to be able to do it. And
I love that KT is also diverting their resources towards that bot lane, right? Blank is hovering there, went for the top to bot side clear just so he could be there. No summon is used early on, so Noah and Harp actually also, even if they do get ganked, even if that situation does arise, they have so much survivability still left, so many ways to kind of keep yourself alive. And then, yeah, you're bleeding a little bit in the mid lane. Khan is having a good matchup there. And Damwon are still fine, right? But again, we keep going on about this because it has now become such a characteristic weakness of Damwon and one that they need to alleviate, because we see that it actually makes the games so much harder for them than they should be.
Yeah. And look, if you're looking at this from a Damwon perspective like you were, yes, you'd say that things are fine, but it's exactly the same on KT's side, and yet they don't have a bottom lane that's bleeding to death. Exactly. So this is still absolutely fine, right? If you've got an Akali down 7 CS to a Gangplank, you're laughing all the way to the bank. So still, more moves need to be made here from Damwon, and I think a lot of people are going to be looking into that jungle to see what Canyon can do on this Viego jungle. Certainly a very flexible champion, a lot of volatility in the way these resets will be coming through with the Heartbreaker in the later stages, things like that. However, nothing has happened just yet, as now Khan possibly in trouble here, as there's the first portion of the ultimate. Ult goes down from Khan as well, but it's a party here. Goodbye, Mr. Pirate. That is too many people for you to deal with, and KT will grab a second kill.
And this is the direct payment that you get as KT, right? This is your payout for the continuous
and the Herald immediately afterwards. Just glorious. I don't know, man. I'm not going to use any E-words. However, I'm very impressed. That's an I word. That's allowed. Very impressed by what KT has showed us so far today.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and again, it serves to highlight the issue that we've had with Kia ever since MSI, really. And gonna go in here.
Yeah, what can Canyon do? It is going to be Showmaker that steals away the Herald. Beryl is going to be taken down, so they at least get that one back. Goes free hitting, but otherwise not going to be able to find too much more. So KT lose out on the Herald. And Beryl, I believe, was able to pick up the eye.
Yeah,
that's why it looked like he sort of threw his life away, but he was just trying to make sure that they could grab that. And that is actually huge, because he can take that bottom side and help get Ghost back into this game.
I was about to say like that. We joke about Beryl. That was not a Beryl mistake. That was a really good play. They chose who should be the sacrifice, and in this case, it should be your Rakan, right? Because there is a 1 in a million situation where he actually makes it out due to the mobility the champion has. But you're like, no, just go in, Beryl. Just make it. Oh, I like this.
Yeah, looks like they're actually looking to try and put Doran behind and take away a lane for him to farm in. Interesting. No, actually deciding not to.
Just going to zone him off.
To be perfectly honest, I'd prefer the Rift Herald to head down towards the bottom side, but here's an Abyssal Voyage, and I think that this might just be a dead Ghost, as dead Ghost. Interesting theory there, as he's going to flash away. We'll see whether this dive is going to work out, as Harp has to move out of this turret and just very comfortably tanks up all the turret shots. This guy, master diver. Absolute master diver.
This is his first game.
Yeah.
This is second.
Second game, but first series.
Thank you. Yes. My excitement is still warranted though, because well, Kia says, yeah, we're gonna get some plates just by the virtue of yet another kill on Ghost. Look at that wave in the bot side that's crashing there. If there is a cannon minion, it will be somewhat surmountable. I'm fairly certain that a wave that big won't immediately get thinned out, but it's just not a good look here for Kia as a whole. Ghost trying to get the bounce there, pays for it immediately with his life, and it's like the last game, right? There is still a world. Kia has amazing scaling. Their 5v5 is actually super good. Canyon can always pop off, and I do really like Canyon on a jungler that can like hard carry team fights, as he will.
I mean, like Karma exists in this game. That's always a problem.
All of those things can exist. Besides the fact that KT is playing incredibly well, I think Noah and Harp deserve a lot of credit, and they're playing.
I actually don't mind. I don't mind how this game actually ends.
Doesn't matter,
because I'm already happy with what KT has done. As we're gonna have a look at Noah just taking down the Varus. I actually think this play was all about how well this Tahm Kench navigated the turret. However, just beautiful duo play. And
what did Noah say coming into this match?
He said, I want to play Senna better than you.
I want to school Ghost on Senna, and that's not something that people generally do, but as of right now, he has Divine Sunder finished. That item is so incredibly strong on Senna. And
he's 3-0-1. He's the late game win condition, and he's the one with like 75% of their kills. As Khan is going to get smote, and in goes Dove. Cannon Barrage is going to be there, but it is just a dead pirate yet again. Jack Sparrow really not living up to his mantra here today.
And interestingly enough, by rotating Khan to the mid lane, he has now also seemingly become part of the problem that Kia is facing. And this is, of course, the reason why you often see Gangplank in that top side, is because it's harder to get collapses in like this. Gangplank by design is just a champion that's really easy to dive, it's really easy to blow up. Khan is not even that far up in the lane, right? Like, sure, you can argue that he should ward that, he should be aware that they're going to play for Drake, and all that's fine and dandy. I think the previous gank was a lot worse, but this one, what you gonna do, right? You need to rotate Showmaker onto the rest of the map. You need to start doing stuff, you need to start making plays, because this bot lane gap that we see from KT is now starting to get spread around the map, and that's when it becomes really worrisome, because as you pointed out, it's not like KT can't win the late game at all, right? The Akali skills really well. The Senna is self-explanatory. You have the front line with the Udyr and the Kench, like all those.
I think Kench really does help give them some later game win conditions, as Blank just comes over and just going to press that chili smite button. I like that he waits a moment as well, just to give the rest of KT the ability to get through here. I don't know, man. I feel like this is KT finding a level of coordination that we haven't seen from them all year. And I don't, is it Harp? Does Harp come in and then just tack everyone together? I don't understand.
It's a really good question, and I wouldn't be able to tell you the answer, but this is an incredible debut, and it's a support player. He's playing Tahm Kench, so like you feel like, again, it's like How much we see of Harp on like an actual engage support, right? Where his punish potential is even more prevalent. And Kia, you can't leave a Varus alone in this lane. Like, even if they're not ahead, which they very clearly are, you're not allowed to. You're paying for it very, very aggressively as...
Yeah, Showmaker looking for something here as the Shock Blast is going to be empowered and then miss. And it looks like Doran is going to head home. His teleport is up in a couple of seconds' time, so we'll be able to get back there quick smart if he would like to. But Beryl, we'll see whether he's going to be so lucky. Grand exit gets him out of there. And KT continuing to put on the pressure. Clip's completed here by Doran. As Noah's going to get some upgrades on his support item.
Spectral Sickle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the upgrade is called, to be completely honest.
Spectral Hay Cutter?
That would be, yeah, you know. It's like a bigger version.
I just went for another word for sickle.
I like it.
That was my plan. Not sure whether it's a good move or not.
I appreciate it.
It's not Spectral Scythe, because I think that's, wait, I think that's an ability in Diablo 3. Never mind.
We're going.
Yeah, that's a wizard ability.
That's different games
the wizard melee ability there. So, yep, shout out to wizard players in Diablo 3. I was like, where did Spectral Scythe? I'm like, it can't be that, because that's already an ability, but not in this game. So maybe that could be a thing. But yeah, I don't know that one's particular name. Maybe that can be on my homework.
I bet you don't even know all the mythic Ornn names. Huh?
I don't. I make them up as I go, because that's way more fun. Although Syzygy is definitely a really cool one. Unfortunately, Doran not going to be able to get that one this game because Ornn is absent. Shirley, though, is not, and she's going to be collected. We'll see whether KT managed to stop Damwon from stealing this one away by Karma, and it looks like that is absolutely going to be possible. As the rest of Damwon Kia in this mid lane trying to get some push out. And it looks like they're not going to be able to finish off this turret. So KT still with pretty firm control of this game, and doesn't feel like it, but I'm just noticing now that like this is perfect game pace.
Yeah.
Outside of one Herald, which isn't on the scoreboard at the top. So I don't know how much that counts, but I think it does probably count. But as far as the top scoreboard is concerned, perfect game.
It's bad when the Senna that isn't farming has such a gold lead. Like not a you know, it's Senna, you get this, it's a gold lead.
Yeah.
Like that's really bad.
And the Tahm Kench certainly extraordinarily far ahead.
Also, yes. And
that's a very early Flame Horizon, if ever I've seen. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I know Twitch chat, you've been talking about it for a really long time. I don't even need to check. I just know.
Yeah, you had to do it too.
Yeah, we did. Ghost looking to see whether he can clear out this wave, but it's just not enough.
And the problem with Senna snowballing in a way like this is that when Senna gets ahead in the lane, it also means that she can go for souls way more aggressively than she otherwise could be, right? Like, when you're behind on Senna, you're basically just trying to stay alive, sustain, and trade a little bit. But now, because you're so ahead, you can take every single trade that you can find, meaning you get way more souls, you accelerate yourself, and this snowball of range and damage just becomes more and more oppressive. And Damwon Kia, one of the next skirmishes needs to go well. You need to start picking up some objectives, because otherwise I think you are just not going to find an angle back into this game.
Yeah, it's so difficult. And especially now with lethality starting to get built up by Noah, his healing is going to be ridiculous in these 5v5s. There's Beryl getting chunked down. We've got some mist on the ground. KT still very happy. Shirley getting to work here on this outer turret in the mid lane, and the priority is just through the roof for KT. Blank just wandering around the river, having a swim, having a great time on this Udyr, and they can move over to this Ocean Drake whenever they would like and feel really happy about it. Showmaker gets the chains down, but KT just not worried about this whatsoever.
It's a soul point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, teleport to come through from Dove. There's the cannon barrage as Blank is going to be able to secure the Drake. There's the Dawning Shadow as in goes Dove, looking for Ghost. He has to flash away, but the Shuriken backflip was already there. A double kill with the perfect execution from Dove, and this guy's having one heck of a day today.
Incredible from KT. They are still on track for a perfect game.
No, they're not. They lost the turret.
Ah, man.
Yep, see? It was that E-word. That E-word was creeping in.
That was
it was creeping in.
Just
hold yourself back. Hold yourself back.
Not allowed to do that.
Analyze this replay for us.
Well, they try to go in, and then they funnel into a Senna ultimate.
I didn't even see when Dove used his Shuriken backflip, but it's just like the mark was there.
It's literally, this is just the payoff it's not even that like...
Your eyes
like,
got so much relief. That's all relief in that man's face.
No joy. It's just like, okay. Okay. Yeah, so thank you for that, observers. I don't know what happened, but Doran, I guess here got ganked in the bot side here, but no kills actually being picked up.
Yep.
And this is just a reward that you get as KT for getting your bot lane lead transitioned across the rest of the map, right? Because of that, you have all these item spikes that have been hit. You're pretty far ahead. Just the first spikes coming through for Damonkia now, whereas on KT, you're sitting on like a couple of more components, meaning that in a situation like that, unless Beryl finds an amazing engage, as you saw there, they're kind of funneling through that choke point into a Senna composition. And Dove and Doran that are just freely throwing out skill shots, right? And you don't even get on top of the Senna, and a bigger problem, as you already pointed out, is that the Tahm Kench gives so much longevity to this comp, because actually assassinating Senna is going to take a way longer amount of time, because you need to wait at the Devour, and the Devour is pretty long.
And there are threats. There are threats everywhere on KT. Like, we're talking about, you know, Noah's Senna and things like that, but it was Dove that just killed everyone in the last fight, right? And Doran's raining down Shock Blast. There are so many targets that you need to be aware of. And Damonkia just, they can't spread themselves that thin. It has to be about getting all of the Inspire shields out, making sure that they can get some picks here as the Cannon Barrage comes down, but the Abyssal Voyage is there to counter. Showmaker not going to find the Mantra Q. As KT just going to back away. Yes, they walk through the Cannon Barrage, but that's not the fight that they wanted. Dove wasn't there, didn't have teleport available. KT just back away. Health bars completely fine. It's 2 minutes until KT really have to worry about looking for a fight. And right now, just fighting over vision around this Baron. They have Rift Scuttle vision. Damwon with a lot of wards in the area. KT feels like just with the power of their wallets at the moment, feeling very, very good at this particular situation. As Khan possibly overstepped, wants to put down the barrel, but not going to be able to find anything. He's running away. The Dawning Shadow will be avoided, but Dove picks it up with a Proto Bolt, which is pretty impressive. Canyon going to get booped back in, trying to dash forward, looking for Doran, but the Devour is so beautifully timed. He does die in the end. However, it looked damn cool from Harp. Ghost, in the meantime, is trying to ignore the rest of the video game because it's not going so well, and KT will try and take down. No, actually, they will just back away and look to defend the Varus' push.
I really respect that, because I think if you dive there and it goes sideways, you're in for a really rough time. And there, yet again, Harp. He's having a great game on Kench, because if those resets come through, it's probably still going to be fine, but the risk is there. And I don't know why Khan, I guess he's trying to bait it, because they know someone is there, based on how Doran is playing, right? And I assume the idea is that you need to move at least a little bit close, but you need to do that so carefully, because now Kenyon is just desperately trying to get it done. Wants to go for the ultimate there, but is unable to, thanks to a beautiful Devour from Harp, because, you know, even with that, you probably just get the kill and then still get killed. Like, I don't think picking up the Jace there is suddenly gonna turn the whole game around from you with the Heartbreaker, but it's not enough, and it's starting to feel like that is just the entire game for Damonkia. Like, everything they're doing is not enough. This is basically what you'd expect from the current state of Damonkia in this series.
Harp having a good game. I mean, I know it's all skewed because of the center composition situation, but in goes Dove now looking to try and execute. Khan, he's going to do that absolutely. As the Chains of Corruption used defensively in KT, 20 seconds, and that is Ocean Soul point. Damonkia are without their gangplank. These piercing arrows need to connect from Ghost, and it's just not happening. Canyon moves on over, just face-checking Doran here, and is just going to move on back. Abyssal Voyage just to get them back together, as Dove may have overstepped. Goes golden though at exactly the right moment as Beryl dashing out of there. Dove somehow survives, but of course he does. He's having the best day of his life as Canyon now in the back line wants to get something done, but it's just not happening, and KT will be gifted with an Ocean Soul.
And yet again, it's a game where Damonkia, if you're not this far behind at this point, you probably clinch out that team fight. Maybe Kenyon starts resetting. Maybe you find your way back into this game. But they've given up so much. They've been outplayed throughout the entirety of this game. The Soul comes through. The Baron is sure to follow next. Noah is insanely big. No way you're getting through him. And it's starting to feel like KT is going to 2-0 Damwon Kia here. And it's not going to be Damwon Kia just randomly flopping. It's KT playing so damn well.
Yeah, I mean, look, there has been, you know, a few things that Damwon Kia probably could have done better. This is definitely not their best performance, but I think we do need to focus on KT just being really, really good today.
And it's Kong getting caught in an attempt to get enough barrel poke down and not actually getting anything out of it. Dove, maybe a little bit too enthusiastic with how well the entire day has been going for him. Can't really fault him for it. And this is the moment where if this isn't as big a lead as it is, I think Canyon is able to pick up that reset here and then go from there. But you can't because Harp is there, right? Because they're ready. And these health bars, yes, they're kind of low. Canyon almost gets Noah, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, let's have a look at Dove and how he got it done.
Yeah. They make it look so easy as well.
I like to just mudger, which just means all right.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Very cool, calm, and collected. And he does it in his Dove voice as well, which is so deep and sultry. Very much like it. I need to remember the Korean guy that apparently everyone thinks Dove sounds like, but I've completely forgotten. So I apologize.
We have a bunch of like really cool voices. Vista also has an amazing voice.
Yeah, true.
So it's really, really good. I'm so impressed at what KT is doing here. And yes, of course, like I think this is honestly appropriate punishment for Damwon Kia. It has been a consistent problem of them that the bot lane has had a really rough time, and it is continuing here, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger problem, and something to fix as Beryl, I guess.
Beryl's dead, yeah.
Yeah, Beryl just dies.
Not very much of an opportunity for play-by-play there. In fact, I was reading a message from Ji-sun, who just mentioned that it was Sun-gyun. And here's Cannon Barrage. And Noah keeping everyone alive. Harp just kiting this one out. Cannon Barrage was there, but it just doesn't do anything. And KT just stave off the attempted engage from Damwon Kia as if it was nothing. Noah is just a gigantic band-aid right now, just making sure that all of these boo-boos are absolutely fine. KT will be able to take down this inhibitor if they would like to. Damwon Kia trying to get themselves in a position where they can start off a fight, but it's just not happening. That shock blast, absolutely fantastic from Doran. KT, they will take what they want and leave.
And now you're playing into a composition that has a Jace with Ocean Soul, so that's going to be not very fun. Then you have a incredibly fat Senna that's keeping it. Oh, also picks up the Watchstone. Oh, you love to see it. That makes me very happy because I think SKT, you played this one clean out. There's just no way. Let's see how Beryl gets deleted.
Yeah, it's a backflip landing, and
it gets deleted.
Yeah. I remember when that buff happened. I was like, this is it's a much cooler way of playing a card.
I don't agree.
It seems completely broken and not okay.
I didn't agree at the time, and I'm wrong very often. You know, you give me a lot of flack for that, and that's fair. In this scenario, though, I was like, but that's actually not okay.
No,
and I think we now collectively
it does add to the skill expression.
However,
when everyone's really good at the champion, it feels real broken. As Doran looking for Canyon here, he's going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. Noah's going to turn up as well. And KT, they own this map right now. 2.5 minutes on the Baron, 2 minutes on the Elder Drake, which is going to be the important one. If KT get that, I think the game is just over. The fact that the Elder comes up and then the Baron's up 20 seconds later as well is like absolutely perfect as far as spacing.
This is
for
the,
KT.
This is the man, the confidence of a man who's cost a lot of LC games. Like, I think the game might be over then. It's like, it's a 10k gold, they have Ocean Soul, but we don't believe until the Nexus has fallen.
Yeah, well, Doran's also likely going to get picked off here. KT on the other side of the map, looking to try and break the base at least. But looks like we are going to be moving back, and yes, I mean, it's confidence, inevitability. I'm not sure which is the correct word.
I don't know.
But I think that this game is definitely going at least another minute and 14 seconds.
Oh.
As this was a good catch from Damwon Kia, buying them some space. Whether it's going to be enough is a much bigger question, but this is still good news, right?
It's one of the classic use of the game plank rides where you see him often picked into like MMO early carries like the Senna, of course the Kanch, and the fact that Khan has had a really rough game in this scenario mitigated by a large extent, but it does provide you with catching opportunities and hard engage, or at least a form of engage, rather, that normally you might not have access to. In this case, they still have Rakan, but I don't think Barrel can engage. I think he dies to the second, not even the second, I think he dies to the first Shuriken activation.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no. Or just, you know, up and Noah again.
Well, here's the aggressive Abyssal Voyage. Hawk just flashing on over. Ghost is super dead as the Dawning Shadow just makes sure of it. Beryl gets half health from a Shock Blast. And KT, they get exactly what they want. Doran wanting even more, though. He's angry after they tried to take him down. Blank's there trying to tank up the turret, but Doran actually grabs the aggro. That is not what you want. The center is going to take down Canyon, and somehow Doran actually survived in amongst all of that, and I think that this game is over. Yes, the Elder Drake spawned, but I think that it's just not going to be taken here.
Are you sure it's over?
I think it's not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think no. I think it is. I think you're right. The second Nexus turret is going to be taken down. The Nexus will fall. And KT, all year round, they've been able to take game one. This is the first game two, and they do it so beautifully. What an incredible game.